Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a strong warning to Washington, cautioning that U.S. Russia ties could face severe damage if President Donald Trump moves forward with supplying long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. In remarks carried by RT and other Russian media outlets, Putin said the decision would destroy the fragile progress that had recently emerged between Moscow and Washington, potentially reversing months of diplomatic groundwork. The issue surfaced after U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance revealed that the White House was weighing the possibility of sending Tomahawk missiles to Kyiv, each costing roughly $1.3 million and capable of striking targets up to 2,500 kilometers, 1,550 miles away. This range would theoretically allow Ukraine to reach deep into Russian territory, including Moscow itself. According to RT, discussions surrounding this decision have sparked fresh geopolitical tension, with Moscow warning of unpredictable consequences. In a televised interview with Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin, Putin said such a move would destroy the positive tendencies that had begun to appear in bilateral relations. The Russian leader suggested that Washington was playing with fire, risking a complete diplomatic breakdown at a time when both sides had shown cautious signs of restraint. Speaking earlier at the Valdai Discussion Club, one of Russia's most prominent policy forums, Putin claimed that Ukrainian forces would be unable to operate Tomahawk systems without direct U.S. military involvement. He suggested that the complexity of the missiles would necessitate American personnel on the ground, something Moscow would likely interpret as an act of direct participation in the conflict. Putin downplayed the potential military impact of the missile deliveries, insisting that Russia's air defense systems were already capable of intercepting and neutralizing Western weapons. These supplies will not change the balance of power, he said, citing Russia's successful adaptation to earlier deliveries of Atacms missiles, which had caused some damage but ultimately failed to shift battlefield momentum. According to Russian state media, discussions over the Tomahawk missiles intensified after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met Trump on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York last month. Sources close to the talks told RT and Reuters that Zelensky personally appealed for the inclusion of long-range missiles in the next U.S. military aid package. Days after that meeting, Fox News aired comments from Vice President Vance, who acknowledged that Washington was certainly looking at it. The remark fueled speculation that a decision could be imminent, further escalating tensions across European capitals. Adding to the uncertainty, Keith Kellogg, Trump's special envoy for national security affairs, hinted that the U.S. president might have already green-lighted limited Ukrainian strikes inside Russian territory. While the White House has not officially confirmed this, several U.S. officials quoted by the Financial Times suggested that some within Trump's circle were divided over the move. One senior official reportedly told the Financial Times that there were doubts about whether Tomahawk missiles would meaningfully alter the strategic balance, especially given Russia's extensive layered air defenses and deep stockpiles of precision-guided weapons. Others within the administration, however, viewed the move as a signal of Washington's long-term commitment to Kyiv. Military analysts interviewed by The Guardian and Politico argue that the delivery of Tomahawks would represent a major escalation, blurring the line between indirect and direct U.S. involvement in the war. Such a move, they say, could invite a harsh retaliatory response from Moscow, potentially targeting U.S. assets or allies in Europe. Putin, meanwhile, warned that Russia would respond symmetrically or asymmetrically to any such provocation. "We have the means and the will," he said, emphasizing that Moscow's patience should not be mistaken for weakness. His comments came amid renewed Western efforts to reinforce NATO's eastern flank, as tensions over the Black Sea and Arctic regions continue to mount. As the debate over missile deliveries continues,